Hi folks, Chad here with Rhema Communications. This video is about the fixed wireless system. It is the beginning of February 8th, 2017, so this is the current situation. I'm just doing this video so that I can explain just briefly, I'll try to make it nice and quick, the situation right now with the fixed wireless system. And so the fixed wireless, this right here is fixed wireless. So this is the box that runs fixed wireless. It's if you're not sure what you have, if you can look at it, if you have this on the side of your house or on the roof or wherever, this is fixed wireless. If you have a great big round dish, then that's satellite. So just to help you know, this is the one that goes to the tower. So this shoots out and goes to the tower that right now, as of right now, we only have one tower. It's in Charlie Lake here. It's at the end of the Old Hope Road, and there's actually two towers standing beside each other out there. I don't know if you ever see them, and ours, unfortunately, is the shorter tower. So that's how you can tell which, maybe, there we go. It's the shorter tower. So that's where you're aiming to for the fixed wireless. So for the fixed wireless system, there's so much with the fixed wireless, and there's a lot of misconceptions and a lot of confusion maybe about it. So what's happened, Xplornet bought, we had to go to, it's not FCC, it's the Canadian version of FCC, I can't remember now. Anyways, they're the guys that control all the airwaves and the frequencies, okay, I'm not even trying to remember because the video will be way longer. So they control all the frequencies. So we had to buy and purchase frequencies to use. So Xplornet bought frequencies to be used for that fixed wireless system. And so we bought them and purchased them for millions of dollars. It was a lot of money for these frequencies. So we bought them. The problem with Fort St. John was, and is, somebody in this area is broadcasting in the middle of our frequency range. So this system is actually designed to do a scan. So it will scan a whole bunch of different frequencies, but they're all frequencies that we've bought. So just for simplicity's sake, we'll just say 0 to 100 is the frequency spectrum. And so Xplornet buys from 20 to 30, okay? So we say from 20 to 30, we own these frequencies. And we can broadcast and do it. So what we do, we program our units. They come default programmed to say scan from 20 to 30. It's not 20 to 30. I'm using that as an example. So we scan from 20 to 30. The problem is somebody in Fort St. John has a tower up. And it's been this way for quite a few years now. And they're broadcasting right fair in the middle of our frequency range. Now, this has been reported, and it's gone up to try to get this changed. The problem with this kind of thing, to change somebody or to, it's not like you can just call the police and say somebody's broadcasting and the police go out and say you have to turn that off. It has to go up through the Canadian FCC. It has to go up through them to kind of, it's almost like you're going to court and saying, hey, these guys are doing this, and you have to have proof and show it and show it and show it, and then it has to go through this whole process to get it stopped, and that's expensive to do. So rather, I think, this is my opinion, that rather than fight that battle, Xplornet decided to try to just work around it. And honestly, our dealership has pushed to try to help people to work around it because the issue didn't seem to be getting resolved. The other thing too is that tower isn't always on. Sometimes I've been out in the and they're not broadcasting because I can see if they're there or not with that unit, and so they're not broadcasting. And then other times I go and they are broadcasting. Now, like I said, this unit scans as of right now, and that's the way the towers are. The tower stands out in Charlie Lake. And it has 3 panels on it. So there's 3 panels that are mounted on the tower. And they point in 3 different directions. So the first sector points north and goes out north. The second sector points like southeast and heads down in towards Fort St. John. And the third one goes like southwest, west, and heads out towards Hudson Hope. And so obviously the vast majority of people live on that second panel that points in towards Fort St. John. So that panel was full and had it, once it hit capacity, it's full. The other panels weren't full yet, okay? So, and because some people live in different areas, and so the system's designed that if you're somewheres where, because these panels overlap each other, so if you're somewheres in this, if you almost think of a pizza slice with just three pieces on it, right? So if you're somewheres in this range, but you're kind of close to the edge, so you can actually get this first one or even the second one, the system is designed so that it will scan. So if a signal strength is stronger, it'll grab. Or if you're on this, say you're on the first panel, and it's congested and there's too much going on, but the system knows, hey, there's actually a lot less happening on this panel. So let's see if we can get this panel instead, and this unit will start to scan to grab the other panel. The problem that we have is when it starts scanning that other tower that can be broadcasting in our frequency range, the units will actually see that signal. And if it's a strong signal wherever you're located, and this is the thing with fixed wireless too, it depends on where you are. So some people, they got no problem at all. They're sitting right there on top of the tower. It worked, there's no problems at all. We have some fixed wireless customers, things been ideal. They have no problems at all with it. It works great for them. Other customers, it has been nothing but a headache for them and just drives them crazy. And so this tower broadcasts, and then your unit locks on, and all of a sudden, because you don't have internet through whoever this tower is, I've actually tracked down the network ID, the base station ID off of that tower, and I sent that up the chain of command and said, hey guys, this base station is broadcasting in our frequency range. And I talked to one guy at a tech support, and he searched it, and he came back and he said that base station ID comes up registered to Nintendo. And he said, I have no idea why something registered Nintendo is in Fort St. John. Like, it's no idea. So it might have just been a mistake too, like he maybe it wasn't registered right or something. I don't know. But either way, it's this tower. So what happens is your unit will lock onto that one and go, oh, here's a great signal, and we'll grab it. And so you'll be doing stuff, and then all of a sudden your internet's gone. And it'll be down. And this is where I've talked to customers, and they're like, I turn it off and turn it back on. But when you turn it off and back on, it rescans. When it rescans, it will grab that same tower again if it's still broadcasting. And if that signal strength is stronger, it'll grab that one again, and you won't have internet. And then so I have customers that say, I finally have to just unplug it and turn it off and leave it for like hours. And then I go back and plug it in, and it comes back on, and then it works no problem. Well, chances are whoever that tower that was broadcasting has stopped for whatever reason, and then now you're able to connect again. And so this has been, for me, this has been a thorn in my side out here trying to do this fixed wireless thing. And so what I've actually done, and what I do for some customers, is what Xplornet calls a soft lock, where I'll lock it on to the specific frequencies that are ours. So it won't go to any other tower. It will only grab ours. The only problem with doing that is sometimes, and they've only done it, Xplornet's only done it once with one panel in the last 2 or 3 years, where they'll change frequencies because we've bought these frequencies. So if Xplornet looks at it and says, you know what, I think this will work better, they'll change frequencies. And they'll put it to a different frequency. But if you're locked onto the other one, all of a sudden your internet's gone. It's got nothing, because it's not scanning, it's not looking for anything else. It's been told this is the only one you're allowed to talk to. So when you lose it, that's only happened one time. So I don't think that's not a very common problem that would take place, but it has happened. But in order to work around this tower, this is what I've had to do. So I do that. I go to customers' houses, I'll lock them onto their frequencies and try to get it going. Now, that being said, that has still not always solved the problems. And I'll be honest with you guys, the fixed wireless customers, I'm the most sympathetic towards you guys, honestly, and I understand your frustration. And it's been a frustration for me because I've gone out to customers' houses, I've fixed things, I've locked on, and then it will work okay for them for a while, and then it goes back and it gets glitchy. We actually have techs that come out and they look at the tower and they fix things. They've come out a number of times, and I'm in contact with the top tech guy at Xplornet and emailing with him, and to tell him the next time those techs come to that tower, let me know, because I want to go out and talk to them and find out what's going on, because I keep hearing of things that they've done to the tower that I didn't even know about, and that they're trying to make changes to make it work better. They really are. And so the problem with the fixed wireless tower, and I don't want this video to run on. I talk too much, I think, but the problem with this tower was supposed to. The tower is actually already upgraded. There's the next step, because the internet evolves. There's a next step in this evolution. Right now it's on FWA, or what they call fixed wireless. It runs either 5 or 10 megabits for speed. There's another one that's already on the tower. I talked to our head training guy, and he told me almost 2 years ago, the new system for LTE is already on the tower. And LTE will run 25 megabits per second. It'll have more data, and it will run faster. But they haven't been able to switch it over, because the same way in all companies that deal with radio frequencies and stuff have to buy those frequency ranges. The same way Xplornet has to buy bandwidth. So Xplornet bought bandwidth to run the fixed wireless system, and it was running. It ran good for years. But congestion, again, because so many people get on. So this tiered system that I have in another video here, you can click on if you're watching this one first. There's another video here on the tiered system explained. It's running on fixed wireless as well. It has to, because once it gets congestion and there's too many people for the amount of bandwidth we have, the tiered system is implemented to try to make it so that everything will run a bit smoother. So Xplornet bought more bandwidth, and they had the contract all done up to have a lot more bandwidth for the tower. And what happened was, about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, like I said, they put the system on there for the LTE, so it was going to be even faster. And they had the system, it's on there now, it's ready to go. After it was there and they were just starting to get ready to roll it out, I actually had to go. I went to Dawson Creek. I came back in the middle of vacation up at Pink Mountain on a hunting trip, and I had to come back and go to Dawson Creek to do a training thing for 4 hours or something in order to do this, just so that I was just to get a check in the box for the qualifications, right? So I came back and did that. Well, that system was in place. But afterwards, as they were getting ready to roll the new system out, because remember, the internet evolves, and we're constantly trying to kind of keep up to this evolution of the internet and of communication. After they had everything in place, I don't know the details of what happened, but the contract kind of dropped. And somehow, some way, we lost the bandwidth that would be able to handle the LTE system. And we've been fighting now. They've been trying to do, I don't know all the details of it, but they're fighting to get more bandwidth again, so that we can run the bigger system, and that the tower will work and will do what it's supposed to do. But in the meantime, again, they've had to engineer. They're trying to make it work. They're trying to change this and change that to try to keep it working. And so, but your system should work. Your internet shouldn't just go away. It should work. Now, the tiered system means, and watch the video, it means sometimes when congestion's on, videos, Netflix, those kinds of things, they're not going to run that smooth, or they're going to buffer a lot, because they're a number 3 tier out of 4 tiers. So again, watch that video. If you haven't watched the tiered system, watch it. It's going to explain exactly what's going on with the internet stuff, with prioritizing the internet. But yeah, so that it's just, unfortunately, I hate saying it. It sounds so dismissive, and I don't mean it to, folks. But it is what it is until they can get it upgraded. So for the fixed wireless system, honestly, they're fighting for bandwidth. That's the biggest problem that they're doing, trying to get it, trying to make it work. They're fighting to get bandwidth, and that's kind of what it comes down to. I've heard, I don't know any details, I heard that they're trying this to have by the end of this year, and I know this is February, right? But they are trying very hard to be able to have this tower upgraded to the 25 megabits LTE with the much bigger bandwidth, and they're hoping to be able to get that for this year as well, because they have the 25 megabits coming on the satellite, and they don't want they don't want fixed wireless lagging behind, and they also don't want people not running their internet or not working. But the same thing with the satellite system that I'm telling everybody on the satellite system and the tiered system. If your internet is not working, if it drops and goes out and you have nothing, something is wrong. There's a lot of different things that can go wrong. There's a lot of things that can cause that. Call Xplornet, the tech support line, and get them to they can check the system, see what's wrong. Even call us at the office, and if there's anything that we can do to try to help you out and get it up and running. I understand, folks, you work hard for your money, and its economy is low right now, and so when you're paying money out and the internet's not working for you, I 100% understand that. And so, but call, and because it should still work. It might not work ideal, it might not work, as good as fiber op does, but it's never going to work as good as fiber op. Like, fiber op is what it is. Like, it's incredibly fast, so nothing can even compete with fiber op. But for living in the north and being this far out, we take what we can get it. Fiber comes, then great. I'm not gonna, don't any of my customers that have a chance to switch to fiber op, and don't let Xplornet watch this video because they might get mad at me. But honestly, I'm not an idiot. You're not an idiot. If you have a chance to have almost unlimited, virtually instant internet for the same price, but roughly, and Xplornet knows that. They know that, because our mandate honestly is not to compete with TELUS's fiber op or anything else. Our mandate is to get internet where no other internet can be gotten, where people don't have alternatives and can't get it. But that being said, we're not just trying to give junky internet, and the government came out with a CRTC. There's the name, CRTC. If you watch my other video, that's the name I couldn't remember. So, or maybe it was this one. Yeah, about the frequency, CRTC. There you go. So, if you watch that video, what was that? No, CRTC. So the CRTC came out, and made a ruling. They want everybody in Canada to be at 50 megabits per second. Well, right now, Xplornet's trying to get to 25. But the 50 megabits, that's a new ruling. It's not a law. It's just they came out and said, this is what we want to work towards. So, but you know what? I'll say this real quick. Video's gone way too long, so I'm going to finish with this. I guarantee you, though, we're going to go to 25 megabits with the new system, and it's going to work great. But I'll guarantee you, and this is just the nature of the beast, in 10 years or 7 years or whatever, the internet is going to be even more than what we even comprehend right now. And 25 is going to be great when we get to the 25, and people are going to be like, man, this internet is awesome. And in 10 years or 7 years, it's going to be like, my internet absolutely sucks, because it's not designed to do the things that we keep projecting it to do. And that's why the government wants to get us up to 50. But you know what? We'll get to 50, and some guy will figure out a way to teleport people from here to New Brunswick over the internet or something, and 25 megabits ain't going to get you there. So, so it's just this constantly evolving thing that they're trying to keep up with, and they're trying to catch up with. And so, I hope this has helped you. And honestly, this has been a 20-minute video to try to tell you, if you're having a problem and it's not working, call Xplornet, call us, and we'll do whatever we can do to help you out and to get it up and running, because it should be working. It should at least be working, especially fixed wireless. It's easy to point. There's nothing really involved in it. It just goes to the tower. As long as, if you got a bunch of trees and stuff like that in the way, that might be hindering. There's all kinds of different things. So anyways, folks, give us a call. Call Xplornet. You have to call Xplornet first, because we can't get a work order until they issue it anyways. So if it's not working, call, because we do want to help you. We're neighbors. We live here. I'm not some bigwig and sitting in Toronto somewheres or whatever. Like, I'm here, and I want your internet to work. I want mine to work. I want yours to work, and I want people to be happy with it, because I want you to be able to look at your friend that says, man, I really want to get internet, and say, you know what? Call this guy. These guys know what they're doing. They'll do the best they can do for you, and you'll get internet that will work, and you'll be able to watch videos and Netflix and all of that stuff. So anyway, folks, give them a call, and I hope you have a good evening.